Welcome back. Guess what time it is? It is time for our weekly roundup, where I go over all of the eyeshadow palettes I've used over the past week and I rank them from least liked to most liked. Now this ranking this week is weird and different because I only use, I think, like 4 palettes. And of course one of them is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork. So I can probably say I used 3 palettes, but I have a total of like 7 looks. So it's going to be an interesting ranking. Yeah, so I think the ranking will mainly be on the looks. I don't know. Let's just jump in and see what happens. All right. So look number 7 is the look I did with the Nude Trolls palette from Cosmic Beauty. This continues to not be my favorite palette, but I'm gonna keep using it. And if I still feel like then maybe I will hand it over to a friend. But I was doing something really quick. I was exhausted. I mean, it was just a rough week last week. And I think I did my makeup after like a consultation group where I was emotional. Like it just it just wasn't the greatest week, and I just didn't feel the greatest that day. And so I was just like, let me just throw some stuff on my eyes and go about my business. So that is number 7. Number 6 is a look I did with the Divine Rose palette from Pat McGrath. This is Mothership 7, and I did do another video just focusing on this palette. It should be the one right before this one. So this look was fairly cute and simple. I think I used this shade here and kind of just worked around it with other shades, and it was just a work look. I'm definitely trying to, I've said this before, like incorporate my motherships more. I really do like them. I do know that Pat McGrath is not really involved in the brand anymore. So yeah. So I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, what is she doing? She ain't doing nothing but going ahead and doing makeup at these fashion shows and runways and all that, and the Met Gala and all that stuff. She not playing around with these people. She done sold some of her brand or whatever to other folks who just keep coming out with pink, okay? But I really enjoyed this palette. I think I said in the video before that I didn't get it upon launch or release or whatever. The first palette I actually bought from First Mothership is the Divine Rose 2, so number 8. But I really enjoy this palette, and it is, along with some of my neutral, because this is kind of neutral, along with some of my other neutrals, as one I like to wear to work. So yeah, that's at number 6. Number 5 is the quintessential Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette, the first one. So again, I just used the main shades that I use, some of the browns, just did a little stunt in the crease, put on some red lipstick, and went about my business. Yeah, so I don't know. This is just my go-to palette. Like, I wonder if she'll create any other one where I'm like, oh my God, new go-to. Because I do like the Blooming Romance. Show that one to you. I do like this one, but the Groundwork Neutrals is just, I use it all the time, like weekly. I mean, it could be daily, but I try to like throw some other things in there, because if not, I would just only use that palette. That's number 5, right? Okay, number 4, we're heading back to the Pat McGrath palette. Now, I did 3 looks with this palette, and I used all of the shades between the 3 looks. So the second look is the one that I'm putting at number 4. The third look is the one I'm putting at number 3. And the first look is the one I'm putting at number 2. Hopefully that makes sense, but basically the Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette is numbers 4, 3, and 2. I'm gonna try not to do that next week. It was just an off week, so yeah, and I really wanted to use this palette, so I did 4 looks with this palette this week. I feel like that's really good. And number 1 is not this one. It is the palette I used for the look I did at work. I remember I had 10 minutes to get ready because I had been doing some paperwork and it just takes a lot of time. But I managed to do a really quick neutral look with the La Cienega palette from Adept Cosmetics. I really like this palette. It's like nothing super special, but because it is like La Cienega is a street in LA, and I really just like that all of the names are either streets or areas in LA. So it just makes me think of home. Yeah, so I just really like using this palette. Did I even use any shimmers? I think I did. I think I used Santa Monica Boulevard. Posiblemente. So yeah, that's it. That was it for this week. It's super short. I didn't do my makeup like, I think 2 days. So yeah, this is a shorter one. I'm going into the new week feeling good. At least feeling better than last week. I do want to share this photo. This is the photo that I sent to Erica and Jan. Most people have a photo of me giving this face. It's really my girl. Or, So, if you haven't gotten one from yet and we text, don't worry, it'll happen. But most people do have a photo like this of me looking at you. Now, this was after, what's today? This was after 2 yoga classes, and I was just, after 2 yoga classes, I was just sitting in my car for a little bit, chilling outside, and they said something, and I was like, girl. So, y'all. Well, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. Let me know what you used this week or what you plan to use next week. I didn't use any singles this week, so I think I'm going to try to incorporate those. Maybe I will try to use another Mothership. And then I've just got other palettes. You know, I just have other stuff that I'm going to use, okay? Anyway, I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.